Hello, FDL. Got a solo cast for you tonight. It's gonna be the Star League, Rams, and Dragons. Chris with a K, returning to the playoffs. Obviously, one of the storylines. The Rams out of Stealth Conference. One of the other storylines. A very impressive season at 6-4, second only to the Penguins in all of Star. I believe I have to check the standings. Yes, that is correct. The Dragons coming in at 4-6 as the third seed out of Courage Conference. Let's take a quick look at the bracket. We have this pulled up for you here. As you can see, winner of this match, this best of 7 between the Rams and Dragons, will go on to play the Huskies. In the other side of the bracket, Unicorns and Gators, we're going to see later tonight, if I correctly. That team will go on to play the Penguins, and that is the bracket. But with that said, I think we just get this match started. It's going to be ChriswithaK playing with an expert sub-up. He's obviously an expert, Tyler BK. You probably know him around the league. Otherwise, it'll be Huday and Angry Penguin, as expected, for the Rams, their A lineup. I will say, ChriswithaK looked like he might have had something figured out against Huday. All-Star weekend. There were a couple of really good games out of him, just thwarted by Stoobs, as he often is. So the K just cannot get away from the influence of Stoobs. That's going to be a miss from Tyler BK, but a good defensive touch from ChriswithaK is going to send that towards the corner. Penguin on the wall, gets a pinch, but doesn't go very far. Now down to Chris. He's going to send this into mid, gives Huday a reset. That looked a little awkward, but the K's going to get to this, and he might be able to go after this again. It's going to be hard to tell right away. Ball, Tyler on defense. Good first touch. I think that's really important. Get Tyler making good touches early. That's just going to get a carry from Huday, who has great card control. Apparently, I'm only coming through in the left ear. I will have to figure out why that is. In the meantime, you're going to enjoy some ASMR. But for now, Huday on the kickoff here. Get a good touch. It's going to go down to Tyler. He's going to connect it. Good first touch there from Tyler. Might be able to do something with it. Has it on the ground. Flick comes through. Angry Penguin with a nice touch, though. It's going to send it across. Of it, Chris with a good challenge in the corner. It's going to send this off the wall. Side wall down. Huday is not going to have enough boost to get to this. Now Tyler has a chance to do something good. Good 50. Now we can look for Chris, who's waiting underneath him. Chris is going to whiff, but it might have been tactical. He just gets a good touch there. Gets the reset as well. Tyler with boost on the wall. Dragons might be able to do something here. Angry Penguin challenges. Awkward, though, and Tyler gets a great win. Here he comes into the corner, looking for one. Can he get the pass to Chris? It goes up. Chris is up early. That is a great shot from Chris. It's on the goal line, and it doesn't matter. He doesn't get the touch because he does get credit for that in the end as it bounces around. Great shot from Chris off of a really good pass from Tyler. He gets the beat in the corner, ends up coming down. Chris, bar down, looks pretty good. I have to look and see if I can fix the audio, but for now, Angry Penguin gets a reset. Doesn't actually, and Chris dies because he's thinking a little bit too hard. Tyler almost gets back to that after he gets chased for the demo. That is so rough for Tyler, who made a really good play to dodge the demo, recover so well, and get back to this. But it just bounces off the top of his car instead. Really good idea. I can get behind that one, even if it didn't end up working out. We will play on 2-1 lead for the Rams, but the Dragons making a game of it so far. Tyler's gonna get caught out by a great touch off the wall. The Doomsy dish coming out of Huday. Great first touch, sets him up really well, and just not much Tyler can do in that situation. We're through here. Now ChriswithaK gets a kickoff win. Tyler's there. That is a great cheat from Tyler. It ends up beating the Rams 3-2 now for the Dragons. They cut the lead in half. And this is looking really competitive. You know, you might not have expected it. The lower seed coming in and having to pull up an expert player. But Tyler has looked pretty competitive so far. I know I jokingly told the players, you know, don't bully Tyler too much, and that was as much for the Rams as it was for Chris, lovingly. But Chris with a good 50. Tyler jumps at it a little awkward. That's going to bounce towards mid. Huday up. Get anything. Now Tyler on the goal line gets a great save. Where's Chris? He's not on the ball yet. Tyler now up with boost. Going to get beat by Huday. But Chris with a bang downfield. Tyler might have something. Gonna get a 50. Now Tyler towards Chris, who's up. Not a lot of boost to work with, though. Dangerous challenge from Tyler. Can Chris get back after that is cleared away? He gets to his own corner in time. He has the ball. No boost, though. And Huday's going to touch this down and try and extend this Rams pressure. Now down to Tyler. Tyler going to send it. Hood might have a flick. Does he have any more? He does, but a great save by Angry Penguin's going to finish that one off. Now Chris in the Rams corner waiting, looking for something. Doesn't see Tyler going, so he goes himself, cuts in. Makes it a little awkward for Penguin. Tyler now sends it into the other Rams corner. And Chris might have a shot. That is a banger of a shot from Chris, and this game's tied up. Chris, that is an absolute bang of a shot right where he needed it. This game's tied, and it is... I mean, you can't really tell that Tyler's playing up from expert currently. Chris obviously is one of the better players in Star. He's proved it throughout this. Proved it in the All-Star team. Well, but as of right now, this game's tied, and Huday's going to have to get a good clear here. He does. Angry Penguin clears it out towards ChriswithaK. Touch comes through. Tyler's there to make the save. This one's going to bounce down. Here comes Chris. Gonna jump. Has not a lot of boost to work with. Shot comes through from Angry Penguin. It is barred down and in, and that is a great shot from Penguin. Just a little bit awkward from those Dragon players. I mean, the first touch doesn't quite get the job done, and then from there is not a lot to do. As is, we are about a minute left in this game. A shot's going to come. Saved away by Angry Penguin, though. Now Tyler has to make a challenge. He does. Chris looking for the beat. Doesn't find it. Huday can't turn on that ball quick enough to get a shot at, though, so he will not be an immediate threat to the Dragons. Now ChriswithaK in the corner. On the wall. Gets a good touch. Might have another chance. He might go for the pass to Tyler. Tyler's up, but it's not quite in time. Rams escape with one there. Here comes Tyler. Going to challenge Huday. Not going to get a good touch. Not going to get anything, really. And now Tyler has to rush back and play defense. Angry Penguin with a great touch. Okay. Sends it. Off ball. Here comes Tyler. 4 seconds left. Got to do something to get this to midfield so Chris can do something with it. It does land on Chris's car. He might have a chance to dribble this, but Angry Penguin's just going to let this one drop. Rams are going to take game one in a very, very tightly contested one. I mean, both players on the Dragons did what they could on defense, and honestly, the defense looked pretty good, but there's just too much pressure coming through from the Rams at times. But in the end, I don't think you can look at that game and say, you know, this was a bad game in any way for them. And for Huday and Angry Penguin, you're looking at that and going, yeah, this was a great way to start off the series for them. We're going to get right into game two. It's going to be 1-0 Rams lead in the series. Off the kickoff, going to have a flip. Bait out one touch. Goes for the bump on Chris, but doesn't find it. Get anything more out of that. Angry Penguin now The corner, the team pinch comes through from the Dragons. It's Huday. Take this along the wall. Okay, in his own corner, has to send it off his back ball. I'm going to go for another one. Up in the air. Finds the reset. Not going to find anything else, though. Here comes Angry Penguin. Going to send it down. Off the backboard. Tyler has to get a good touch. He gets a touch, but it falls down. I think he wanted to send that across his net, over it, but instead it just falls exactly where he didn't really want it, and it sets up a pretty easy shot. You can see him rotating in the air there. Didn't get it off of the surface of his car he was aiming for. So the missed touch there gives the Rams an early lead, but it was a tough spot for Tyler to be in. And now Chris is going to have something here. He might have it on the ground. That is a great play from Chris. Tyler's there to follow it up, but Huday blocks it. Now, neither Dragon has any boost. They're trying to rush back. Chris has to get in front of this. He doesn't, and the dunk comes through from Angry Penguin, and that is a rough one to do it on. That really could have been something if Chris had managed to get a touch, but the shot from Angry Penguin behind him, I think you expect the shot to go forward there. That's why you're cheating up, covering the front post. When that doesn't come through, you look a little awkward. Kickoff's going to be good for the Dragons. Give him the ball to Huday, who has weak touch, and it goes to Chris. Now he gets a good flick. Tyler's there, waiting patiently. I love the positioning. Gets a great flick off of that one. It might set up Chris. Shoots it off the backboard. It goes just a little high, and not able to capitalize on a really good opportunity. Now Huday sending it off backboard again, looking for a bump, doesn't find it. Tyler, can he send this downfield? He's going to chase this. He's going to look to Chris in mid. Is Chris there? It goes a little awkward, but it ends up working fine because the Dragons maintain possession. Now Tyler has to turn on this to keep the pressure going. Find one. Comes a shot to Chris, who's going to dodge the demo and keep possession, but Angry Penguin gets one. That's a great shot from Chris. Can he get another one? Can he send this towards Tyler? Tyler's on a boost, opts to go for boost instead. Probably the right decision. Ends up meaning he can rotate back after that play kind of fizzles out. Double touch attempt coming through. Not successful, but it would have been a great bang if it had. Tyler in the air now. Looking for one. Gets a good little cut there. That last touch might have done something good, but instead Chris isn't there to capitalize. Angry Penguin sends it downfield. 3-0 lead for the Rams, and it feels like the Dragons are generating good opportunities, but they're having to press a little too hard to get them. And so that leaves the counterattack open for the Rams, who are kind of just content with a 3-0 lead to sit back and play defense. Both teams fake the kickoff. This is going to leave Chris with the ball. He goes for a 50. Tyler's going for boost. This might be awkward. He's going to have to challenge early. The flick comes through, but it's a lot too hard. Chris is able to clear out the shot with a big bang. Yeah, he's going to get the demo on one. No immediate follow-up, though. Chris now with the ball on his hood. He is dangerous from here. He fakes one. Not gonna be able to put the on target afterwards, though, as enough of the defender stays in front of the ball. Now a reset coming through. Does he get the musty? He does, but it's not very strong, and Chris is able to send that away without much threat. Chris now in the air. Bubs Huday, but Angry Penguin's there to follow up the defensive stand. Tyler sends it off his back wall. Might not have been what he was hoping for, but with Chris dying, he has to do something. He does. Oh, it's going to come through. Huday sends it mid. No shot coming, though. Double fake. Now Huday going to send it. It's the Dragon's corner. Might have had a chance for Angry Penguin to go for that. He opts not to. Lead ball. Now Chris off the ceiling with a little bit of boost, but not enough to really make anything happen. Tyler's there. Gets a great touch. Can he get the double? He's looking for it. Anyone there? No, Chris shoots high, and just not enough boost, but Chris with another shot off backboard. Angry Penguin stuffs that one off the posts, off the bar, and out. And another great chance for this Dragons team that just can't seem to break through, but is doing a really good job of creating these opportunities. And that's another unfortunate one. The demo on Tyler frees up the net. Chris commits, doesn't find contact. It would have been a tough one if he had. And even if he does find contact, and Angry Penguin with the flashy little double does enough to make that work. Oh boy. This game feels like it's a lot closer than it is. Like 4-0, you look at it and you go, you're just creating more, chances, but it really is the Dragons running a lot of things here. Chris with the demo is gonna Gonna mess up his landing there, though. The demo is good, but it ends up costing him. He's not able to get to that ball in time. Now Tyler back. Chris with a great shot. Angry Penguin on the goal line, able to make the save. Tyler's going to send this right on net. Go wide. Chris is there, though. The pop, that's going to go in. Dragons finally put themselves on the board. 4-1 now for the Rams. But the Dragons are finally rewarded for their efforts, and Chris is just there with a great shot to finish it off. I like that play. I like getting both players involved. I like the way that that worked out for them. I think there's a chance that they could get something going there. But as is, that's going to come through. Huday going to send that downfield. Look for one. ChriswithaK sends it towards his corner. Chris off the wall, off the ceiling. Might have a flip still. Does he? He does. He gets a shot. Saved pretty easily. Tyler now sends it off back wall. But at this level, I feel like back wall, teams are good enough at defending it for it to not be too big of a problem. And looks like this game is going to fizzle out here. 4-1, looking to be the final unless somebody has some shenanigans here at the end. As is, 4-1 is the final. The Rams take game 2, take a 2-0 lead. But look at that shot total, like 10 shots is so impressive for this Dragons team. They made the Rams really work for this. I want to see him try to keep doing it. Able to... I think the Dragons are going to take this game. I think if they can just find the back of the net once or twice, they'll be able to build some momentum there, because, like, oh, lobby died. I'll attempt to get that back up really quick for that. In the meantime, I will get the lobby back up. Like I said, very impressive from the Dragons to get that much pressure. It didn't always work out. I will mess back up. No, I think the Dragons definitely can make something happen here. Like, you gotta make sure that Tyler, feels comfortable, doesn't feel like he has to commit on things, because that's when players playing up can get a little jumpy, get a little bit out of sorts. He has not looked that way so far, and you worry sometimes when the shots aren't falling that they're going to start pressing just a little bit harder. Into game 2. Sorry, game 3. The overlay. Apparently didn't like the dying there. Come through from from Tyler immediately. Chris is there as well. Gonna follow it up, but not gonna find what he's looking for. Chris sends that down. Now Angry Penguin has the ball, has a little bit of boost to work with. Plays it so slow. Huday dives on the ball, and he's just feel for Tyler, who's in a no-win situation there. His only real hope is to flick this ball over the net, but as soon as he commits on the jump, thinking the Penguin's gonna flick it, just ends up catching him off guard. And the Rams once again get an early lead, but Tyler with a great kickoff goes into the Dragons' corner. He has no boost to work with, but after Chris takes it. But it looks like the Rams don't really have any boost either. Chris is able to challenge. He's going to go up the wall. He's going to look to pass it to Tyler. Where is Tyler going to play? He's going to play a little too far up for that pass. It comes very far out off of the wall. Now Huday 50ing Chris in the corner. Chris gets a great 50. Can he just send this downfield? He can. That is a great pass from Tyler right onto Chris's hood. And Chris equalizes right away. That little overcooked from Huday means that the Dragons are on the other end of it here. Can capitalize on a mistake. Can make this a 2-0 game. Alright, make this a 1-1 game. Now, Huday gonna take it up the wall. He's gonna grab the boost. Tyler's up really early. Huday reads that off the ceiling, gets the reset. That is a crazy shot from Huday, and that is so deflating for the Dragons, who finally, you know, get something of their own. And then Huday just the little triple touch is so clean. One touch up to the wall, another off the ceiling, and the last one with the reset sends it home. 2-1 lead for the Rams. Man, that is a great shot from Huday. Demo comes through though on Penguin. Can Chris put it on net? He can't on the first one. Can't on the second one either, but I don't think he was really in a position to do it. Now Chris sends it off the corner, and Tyler's going to play patiently. He's going to wait, challenge here, but Penguin beats him. Chris now, let's send that back corner. Not the best time for a demo for them. They really needed to keep possession. Tyler's gonna have to play this as it bounces off of the back wall. Stays on it. Chance here. Passes down to Chris. Chris, little hospital ball pass there. Who did not want anything to do with that. Had to make do with what he had. He had no boost. Tyler's kind of lucky that it didn't end up costing them any more. But a shot's going to come through. That is a great opportunistic shot from Chris. Not going to find the back of the net because Angry Penguins once again playing great defense. Tyler facing a demo. If he finds that, they might get a goal. As is. A lot of pressure again. You know, this Dragons team putting in work. Can Tyler turn on this in time? He doesn't need to. Chris with a great shot. Finds it there. That equalized the game once again. Oh boy, this feels like it's such a close series despite what the scoreline has said. All the props to Tyler. I really think that if he just finds the back of the net here, gets one or two good touches, this series could turn on its head. Chris is up really early. That is an amazing touch from Angry Penguin, but Tyler's there. Shot goes wide, but the Rams were lucky to get away with that one. Now Chris up early again. This is going to bounce off the corner. Tyler off the back wall. Angry Penguin doesn't have much boost. Chris is up early, but Huday gets a great touch. Now Chris has to retreat a little bit. Tyler sends it off the backboard again. Huday has no boost. He has nothing to work with. Now can Tyler get to this in time instead? He does. Angry Penguin gets the 50 instead, and he gets another great 50. Angry Penguin just kind of putting himself in front of the ball, putting himself in front of Chris too. Tyler awkward on the back wall. Huday takes advantage of the demo. 3-2 lead now for the Rams, but it does not feel like it is safe. It just keeps on coming for Dragons team. Every time they do something good, Rams answer back with something, puts them back in the driver's seat. Okay, gonna send that off. Angry Penguin, BK, up. It's a little awkward. Might have been faking for Tyler to take the shot. It goes up a little too high, but it does set up the Dragons really well here. Tyler up, might have a shot, doesn't find the connection on the backboard read. And now the Dragons are rushing back. Tyler gonna have to make a play on this ball because Chris isn't gonna spawn in time, and Tyler isn't gonna make it back in time either. Another demo comes through. The demos feel like the biggest difference maker. They create these chances for the Rams where they don't have to break through a Dragons defense that has been very good when they've been on the field. It's just these demos take them off the field. I mean, they can't maintain this pressure that they've had for a significant portion of the series. Okay, sends it down. Okay, now on the ball. Might go for another Doomsday. We've seen him do it once already. And both Rams commit. Up here. Not going to find the reset. Angry Penguin just pretty easily. Tyler, 50 by Angry Penguin. Huday's going to take this up the wall. Has a little bit of boost. Gets the reset. We've seen him do it a couple times already. Do it again, but Chris is able to save that one because it wasn't the strongest of shots. But here, just Huday again. Find anything here. Tyler gets a great 50 win. And he's going to send it back, but he gets demoed. ChriswithaK looking to pass to mid. Does he find the Doomsday? Never mind, it's an own goal. And that is just what the Dragons ordered. I think even if Angry Penguin doesn't put it in, the Dragons are able to do this because it's either going to roll across for Tyler or Chris gets the Doomsday. Either way, Dragons cut the lead to 1. And they're within striking distance again. I mean, they've been close this whole time. Comes Tyler on the wall. It's going to get sent down towards Chris. Awkward touch. Not the best challenge. Angry Penguin now has to make something happen because of Huday's little mistake there. Demo comes through on the backboard. Huday shooting. Gonna go high. Now the Dragons on a counterattack. 2-on-1 maybe if they can do it. Angry Penguin gets beat by Chris. This game's tied with 15 seconds left, or just about. Chris with the mind games on the ground. Didn't even need to touch the ball. Just got to the side of it. Gets the last little touch, and Angry Penguin gets his axles broken. And the Demo's working now for the Dragons. I think that's twice in a row a Demo creates, that panicked defense. 50 on the kickoff. Chris might have a flick if he can get there. Not gonna find the back of the net though. He gets bumped as well. Now both Rams with boost, and the Demo comes through. Huday chasing Chris. Reset for Penguin. Touchdown, and we're in overtime, and that could not have been any closer. That initial reset looked like it might have been dangerous. Tyler now has to play this kickoff. Be a little awkward for him. Chris goes for him, says, I got this. Don't worry, buddy. I can handle this one. But now, neither Dragon has boost. Huday with a flip reset. Chris up. Has to get the touch. He does. And I think you can't leave Huday with space in the air. He's shown too many times that he will go for the reset, and he will put a shot on target. It might not be the strongest. We've seen him a couple times. Not the strongest one. Tyler, great touch there. But yeah, that might be a problem for the Rams. Here goes, but no, not going to quite be a threat. Chris playing patiently on the wall. Gets dunked there by Huday in that purple Fennec. Angry Penguin now on the wall. Finds something. Now Huday in the corner. Sends it downfield. Has one more, but Chris jumping early. Now Tyler. Another early challenge. I think that's really key for the Dragons. You've got to be accurate with your early challenges. At 50, gonna go in the Rams' favor. Pass down to Huday. That is high. Does he get the double? No, he doesn't. But Angry Penguin's there to finish it off, and that is so close to being a breakaway goal for the Dragons if they can get the touch. But as is, the Rams are going to take game 3. A nail biter. The Dragons fight back, but not able to seal the deal in overtime. 3-0 lead now for the Rams in the series. And a lot to like for Chris and what he saw. Tyler getting involved on offense and defense. And again, 9 shots to 10, like the Dragons are making the Rams work for it. But the Rams are standing up to the pressure and doing a great job of just finding ways to deal with this this attack. The Demos being a key. Was ended up 7-4. Like, this is a very, very physical game. See what happens as we go into game number 4. It's going to be right away, starting off, Tyler and kickoff. Chris and Angry Penguin on the kickoff. Huday's going to take it back into his own corner with control. Angry Penguin gets one, might have a second. 50 there. Chris, and that orange Fennec. Another reset coming through from Huday. He gets a great one. Chris does enough on the goal line. It wasn't ideal. It did what it needed. Now Chris is going to take this. He has some boost as well. Gets a great dunk on Angry Penguin, but Huday should be there to take this ball. Tyler has to be on it early. He is. It's a jump, and Huday's out of boost, so it isn't the biggest threat. But now Angry Penguin, with a lot of space, sends it off the backboard. Double commit from the Dragons is going to spell disaster. 1-0 lead here for the Rams. Early again, just these early goals. First 40 or so seconds, it feels like they've had one in every single game. Double commit from Chris. I think it's just a bit of frustration. You expect Tyler to go. He doesn't. You think you have to. See if they could recover from that. Tyler now. Double commit coming through from the Dragons. Chris up early. Gonna have to get a touch to the corner. Huday's there. Chris reads that very well. Let's Tyler go for this one. Shot comes through from Angry Penguin. It's gonna go down. It's Chris. Cross. And now to Huday. Pick up the wall. He doesn't have a ton of boost, but he has enough. Shot's gonna get absolutely destroyed from Chris, who just comes out of nowhere and makes sure that that is denied. Angry Penguin's going to steal some boost. ChriswithaK now. Send this down. Tyler has to happen here. Chris whiffs on that ball, but he doesn't really matter because he's going to be able to get to this anyway. I have plenty of space. See if that lobby died or if I lost connection. Encouraging. Mr. Cam's here. Hopefully, game did not itself. I'll make sure. Here. Apologies for this. Let's see what happened. That was gone, and of course, we miss a goal from the Rams. That is deal. We'll see it is 2-0 as we come back into this. I've never seen that happen before. It gave me the authenticating error. That's a new one. Must be part of the new adaptations. And here comes Huday with a great double. Stays on that ball afterwards. Huday with a great touch. The first touch sets up the second. He's able to rotate his car in position to get that done. Apologies again for missing the second goal there. I'm not entirely sure what happened. I'm going to blame Rocket League. That feels like it's always a good option. Tyler's going to go for this with no boost. It's going to down towards Chris, but Angry Penguin has boost immediately. Chris gets 50'd in front of his own net. Penguin now bumps Chris. That is a vicious bump. Tyler gets in front of it, though. That is a huge play to get in front of that ball. Angry Penguin now sends it off backboard. Tyler waiting in net. Little hesitation. He's going to get the save on the goal line. Bump's going to come through from Chris as well. A little dangerous, but it ends up working out for the Dragons. They're going to look to counterattack here. Chris is going to send it off the backboard. Gets the demo as well on the defender. Now Tyler, that is almost on. That was almost a great shot. Oh, Angry Penguin might have just tried to own goal. That looked a little awkward. I don't think he knew where the second shooter was, probably. He wasn't sure if he had to touch it or not. Figured any touch was better than letting a shot happen. Looked a little awkward, though. Now, back down. Here comes Chris. Chasing this ball. Gonna find a pass to mid. Where's Tyler? He's playing a little passive. He ends up getting punished for it because he's too far up, but not close enough to the ball to make a play on it. 4-0 lead now for the Rams. It feels like this one's slipping away, and you can't really fault Dragons for what's happened here. It feels like they've thrown everything at the wall, and not enough of it is stuck. Like, there's been so many different chances they've had quite worked out. This is just going to be a kickoff goal, and that about sums up how this series feels like it's gone. Just everything that can go the Rams' way in terms of 50s has gone their way, and that's a lot of credit to them for just their positioning. They've been in the right place a lot. They made it work. Tyler beat King and be on the kickoff, and I mean, you're full court press at this point. You are every single ball that you can go for, you have to go. You just have to find a way to put things on target, on net. If you're the Dragons, this is your season. The league above you's season if you're Tyler. His season is very much still alive, even if this doesn't go. He's hoping. Passed out to Tyler, not going to find it, but Chris is going to end up good with a shot here. 5-1. Dragons are going to build towards something here. See if they can keep it going. Bump from Tyler is so awkward for the Rams. That was a great shot. Finish that one off. 5-1. Rams. We're going to close this series out in a sweep. As is, shot's going to come through from Penguin. Sends that down. Huday is there as well, but he gets beat by Tyler, who's going to take the ball. He's going to get another one, but that's just rolling towards mid. Chris has to make a save on the goal line. No boost to his name, but he does enough. Now he has to go for the wall as well to keep that from spiraling out of control. Defense from Chris, but defense isn't what the Dragons are asking for right now out of him. Okay, up on the wall. We'll need defense for a second, but Chris needs a big bang. They go for the team pinch, don't find it. Chris now gets one good touch. Tyler has not enough boost to really get to that ball in time. Both Dragons committed. Might mean a shot comes through from the Rams. Demo attempt, not going to find it. Chris now, backboard. Bump again. These are mean bumps. Angry Penguin fakes out. Huday fakes out the first challenge. Tyler waits, thinking that he has to play the shot. Instead, the shot comes through from Angry Penguin. Captures that ball on his hood really well. Gets the flick. 6-1. I said it was quack season. I think he cursed me. I cursed him just like he always used to curse me. He's just going to keep that on his hood. Clock's going to roll down. 20-ish seconds left. Avoid the passport to Brazil. ChriswithaK sends that down. Tyler BK off the wall. Not going to find the back of the net. That is going to do it for this series. Rams are going to take those pretty convincingly. An unfortunate situation for the Dragons having to play up with Tyler, who played very valiantly. Did a great job with what he could. Like I said at the beginning, that is going to move the Rams on, winning this best of 7. Their reward for winning this one going to be a date with the Huskies. Happen next week. Huskies coming in at 5-5 from the Courage Conference. Team Bird Queen, Hayden Season, and Jay and Bird Queen. I think he'll be a very interesting matchup for Huday. Bird Queen, pretty good against Huday. All-Star event as well. Chris and together, they both looked great. Jay obviously been around the league a while, capable of taking over a series. As is, though, congratulations to the Rams. Angry Penguin and Huday put on a great show. Obviously, a shout out to their third as well. Every team needs a third to get them into the playoffs. That was Big John for the Rams. And the season ends here for the Dragons. It was one fraught with I want to say problems, but it's a testament to Chris and how well he played that they were able to get into the playoffs. ChriswithaK, Kyle, and Apixel. That is the end of their season. That is going to do it for this series. We're going to try and wrangle up some casters and streamers for the rest of the night. We have look at the schedule. Got 4 more matches tonight. Coming up at 8, the Dragons and Hammerheads. At 9, it'll be the Unicorns and Gators in Star League. Also at 9, we have Elite League, the Coyotes and Huskies. And to round out the night, it'll be the Adept Griffins and Eagles, leading into one series tomorrow to finish off the quarterfinals. For now, I've been Kin, and only Kin. And I hope to see you back later tonight, assuming we get the stream back up and running. If not, I hope we see you tomorrow. Everyone have a good night. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy your weekend. Good luck to all the teams left playing in the quarterfinals and on.